Hi and welcome to another Rust Basics video. Today we're looking at error handling. Let's just get into it. So error handling is common in every language. In Rust there's two types of errors: recoverable errors and unrecoverable errors. So I'll give an example of an unrecoverable error. If we create this vector, so let v equal vector 1, 2, 3, and then we try to get 99 in that vector, this will cause an unrecoverable error. So if I do cargo run, and here you can see it did not exit successfully. So what happened here was the code panicked. Now in Rust there's this macro called panic, and basically it aborts the program for us, and it was written in the code already here in vector somewhere, and it causes the code to abort because it can't find 99 in this vector. It's an unrecoverable error, and it's best in this case just to abort the program. We could just use the macro ourselves and create our own panic. So we could say, oh no, we are panicking. If we cargo run that, you can see here that so thread main panicked at oh no, we are panicking. And you can do this anywhere in your code, and it's a good way of handling an error that you can't recover from. Just put a panic in. Now we can see here it's suggesting run with backtrace equal to 1. And backtrace basically allows us to look through the stack and see what was happening. To do that in Windows, you have to do set backtrace equals 1. In Linux, you would just leave out the set, just rust backtrace equals 1. Do that, and now if we cargo run. So as you can see, it didn't exit successfully, but now we have our backtrace, and we can see all that was happening, and this is useful for debugging and so on. Now we also have recoverable errors, and I'm going to give an example of that now. If we were to open a file, for example, so f equals file open, and then that file is called hello.txt. F will be either a file or an error. It would be a result type of file or error. So we need to match on that result type and cover each kind of result that you can get. So we let f, So here you can see result, and then it returns either file or error. So we need to match on those. So we match f, okay. So in an okay circumstance, so you either have to do okay and match that, or error, E, and then match on that. We'll do that by reference. So we're either going to be like, okay, we got the file, so then what we'll obviously do then is just match, and it'll be file. But then if we get an error, what we can then do is then match on the kind of error. Right, so yeah, we can match the error, and because it's not a fatal error, well, we don't know if it's a fatal error, we can match then on the error kind and see. So if it's, for example, a error kind of not found, well, we could fix that by then just creating the file. And you can see that that's a recoverable error because we can simply fix it by creating a file like this and call it hello text. So now hello text does exist because now we've just created it, and the error is fixed for us. And so now we have to match on this file creation. So okay, new file. So we get a new file. You can call this whatever you want, by the way. It doesn't matter. Then we return new file. But if we get an error, E, for example, then we have to panic because we've tried to open it, it didn't work. So then we match on not found, and then we try to create it, and that didn't work either. So we're going to panic because nothing's working for us here. And now it's an unrecoverable error. Cannot create a file. And if we get any other error, we will panic. Couldn't open file. Now we could match on lots of different error kinds, but we're just going to keep it simple for now. And now what we can do with f is we can turn it to a string and print it out. So we create this new string called s, f dot read to string, and it takes a mutable reference of s. We could do all the pattern matching like we did before, but there is an easier way to do all of this actually. In Rust you can just do .expect. And basically either this will be an OK and we'll get our read to string correct, or we get an error, and when expected is there, basically we can just tell Rust what we want that error message to be. So we could just say error read to string failed. And it's just a quicker and easier way to handle errors instead of doing all of the pattern matching that we did. And now we do print line. Oops. And we're going to do our new string of s. So if we run that, and here you can see our new string, and it's an empty string because obviously we got an error kind of not found because I haven't actually created this hello text file. So it gets created and then we put it into a string and it's obviously empty. But this is a good example of a recoverable error because we didn't need to panic here. We were able to solve the problem within the code. So there's just one more thing I want to talk about, and that's propagating errors. So let's say you had an independent function that's not in main. So we say we wanted to do all this in a separate function, we could do file opener. And let's say it takes in a reference to a string. What we can have that do then is return a result of file and an IO error. And we just import that. Now this is the same as basically file open. So we just do the same as we did before. So file, let file equal file open, and then we open whatever string we pass in, which is f. And instead of doing all this pattern matching again and, you know, trying to figure out, oh, if it's not found, do this, and if it's this, do this, we can propagate the error with a question mark. It'll basically remove all the boilerplate and basically give us a result of file or an error. And then if it's okay, we just, you know, pass file. And we can handle this error elsewhere in the code. We don't have to actually handle it in here. You can also do custom pattern matching, and the question mark will handle that. So if you were to do something like, you know, if you had your own folder called custom error where you did your own custom error handling. I won't cover custom error handling right now. It's a little bit advanced. You can write your own Rust file that will take whatever errors you're getting and then turn them into whatever messages or kinds of errors you want. For now, we'll just leave it as the default IO error. And the question mark will handle that for us. Now let result equal file opener. And we'll pass in hello text. And we could print that as well. Now this will give us an error because we don't have anything to match on error kind not found. But again, like I said, you could create your own custom error type. and have it handle that. So our result use of undeclared module or file. Oh, that should be a capital, of course. So if we cargo run, we get our new string that we had before with the, you know, the empty brackets, and then we have our error basically being handled. Actually, hold on. Okay, yeah. So I've changed the name to test.text because hello text was being created, but test.text is not being created. We can see here that we get this not found kind of error. The system cannot find the file attached as specified. Now, because we don't have this pattern matching creating it for us, it's just going to give us the error instead of creating it. The error result is being propagated from file opener into result and then finally to print line. So it's printing out that error. And that's propagation. I hope that you found that helpful. If you have any questions or comments or something that was unclear, just let me know in the comments below. Subscribe and follow me on social media, and we'll be having more Rust videos soon. Thanks.